I thank you, Mr. Speaker. I thank you, Mr. Speaker, for the opportunity to also contribute to the motion. And for the record, I rise to support the motion that we proceed by way of committee. Mr. Speaker, as I understand the mandate of this committee and has been submitted by my colleagues, is to investigate and find out and report to this House whether indeed the matters, the allegations that you've read out against the governor are substantiated. So that, Mr. Speaker, all this committee is supposed to do, if the accusation is that there has been nepotism exercised by the governor, to report back to this House and say, yes, that allegation has been substantiated. On the question of illegal appointments, yes, it has been substantiated or not. Mr. Speaker, I would also want to encourage Senator Gloria to understand that, in fact, if you go percentage-wise, Mr. Speaker, percentage-wise, to have 3 women out of a committee of 11 is actually greater than to have 3 women out of 47 elected senators deciding on a matter. Because, Mr. Speaker, as you know, when it comes to the question of the vote,
Senator Gloria, what is your point of order?
Mr. Speaker, my point of order is that there are senators who are misleading the House on facts and on matters numbers. And Mr. Speaker, my point of order, even to Senator Boni Walale and to Senator Edwin Sifuna, is that you cannot come to Senate and actually institute discrimination by trying to convince this House that there is a formula that says that when you have less women at the table of representation, that is the formula that Kenyans should accept because it works best for gender. That is misleading the House. And this is not a matter about bullfighting or how many women or 3 against. This is a matter of representation. And Mr. Speaker, you should not allow the conversations that are going on in this House to continue, because this is a house of order. This is a house that respects women, and this is a house that is supposed to actually ensure that Governor Kawera gets a fair hearing. My point of order is that Senator Edwin Sifuna is misleading the House by trying to tell the House that the formula of 3 women senators against basically out of 11, 3 women senators, that is the best formula to have women represented in this committee. Mr. Speaker, you can see why we have an issue with this. This is exactly the reason why we cannot entrust people who are actually disregarding women in this House. That is my point of order.
Senator Gloria, you cannot stand on a point of order.
It was
to
my
have
point
a second
of order
bite to the sharing. Kindly proceed and conclude. And please allow Senator Sifuna to recover his time.
I thank you, Mr. Speaker. I am not a math teacher, but I will help the House. It is not misleading, Mr. Speaker, because you have the list of the number of women senators elected in, out of the 47 counties. We only know the senator from Nakuru, my sister from Machakos, and the good lady from Isiolo. What we are saying is, if you do a basic arithmetic, 3 out of 47 is smaller. It's actually 6%. Compared to 3 out of 11 is a bigger fraction. That's what I'm saying. But, Mr. Speaker, that being beside the point, let it be known that I'm not trying to mislead this House. I am a firm believer in equality, Mr. Speaker, that in fact, every woman has the same capacity to misconduct herself as the men. So, Mr. Speaker, this is not a question that should be viewed through the lenses of gender. What we want to do, whether we establish a committee or whether we proceed by the whole House, Mr. Speaker, is to find out indeed, is it true, the allegations that have been laid against the governor. In this particular question, we are supposed to be blind. Justice is blind. We do not see color, we do not see gender, we do not see ethnicity, Mr. Speaker. We are just looking at the allegations that have been leveled vis-a-vis, the law. Mr. Speaker, I am also a firm believer that in fact there is no grace period for misconduct. You know, the question of how long it should take before you start raising these questions has been raised in a public forum. I have seen people misconduct themselves even with the oath of office when they are taking oath of office, Mr. Speaker. Therefore, Mr. Speaker,
may the senator be heard in silence, please.
Thank you, Mr.
Senator
Speaker.
Gloria. Kindly
Mr.
proceed and conclude your contribution.
Mr. Speaker, therefore, what I want to encourage this House, because I was feeling the weight of responsibility as a person who's been proposed to sit on this committee, somebody who's supposed to miss Christmas with his family. But I can see the mood in the House is that maybe all of us should miss Christmas, which is okay for me. I don't have a problem. I am just saying, Mr. Speaker, that I wish I was not part of that committee, that it was Senator Gloria here sitting here to spend her Christmas here. But if you want us all to spend Christmas here, it is also okay, Mr. Speaker. So, in conclusion, Mr. Speaker.
Senator Gloria, we are not in some market in the outskirts of Nairobi. If you need to make a point of order, you press the button. It will be upon the chair to give you the platform or to deny you the platform. Kindly proceed.
Mr. Speaker, can I conclude? Because we were with you here, Mr. Speaker, just a few weeks ago when there were the Yala games going on. And it's a similar thing with the Christmas holidays, Mr. Speaker. We had problems raising quorum in this House, Mr. Speaker, if you remember, because most of the members chose to go to Juba. We are going to have the same problem. These people are just saying here, oh, we want the whole House, we want the whole House. But we know the members of this House who are committed to come and actually prosecute matters here, Mr. Speaker. So we might have better success. Mr. Speaker, I need your protection. Mr. Speaker, I need your protection. Because this is something we have experienced, Mr. Speaker. That in fact
Senator Sifuna, just take a seat. Honorable Senators, it is not the wish of the chair to send any senator out of the chambers. But that's my wish, and may not necessarily carry the day today. The standing orders will carry the day today. Senator Gloria, I'm cautioning you under Standing Order 121. Should you proceed in the manner you're proceeding, I'm afraid the standing orders may have their way. Conclude, Senator Sifuna.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. The point that I was making, Mr. Speaker, is previous experience has shown that in fact we might get a lot more work and ground covered in committee than in plenary because of the issues that I have raised regarding the question of quorum. So, Mr. Speaker, to just conclude and allow my colleagues to also contribute, I rise to support this, and not because I'm a member of that committee. I would very happily cede this particular position to anybody else who wants to release me to go and have Christmas with my children. It will not be a bad thing, Mr. Speaker. I thank you.
Senator